Hey guys, Victor here, coming at you again with another updated hero deck profile. And for today's deck, it's going to be post the January 1st, 2024 Forbidden Limited list, of course. Just with that in mind, I tried to keep the deck as generic as possible just because we don't really know how the metagame is going to shape up as of yet. Like, obviously, decks like Rescue Ace and Fire King are still really solid, but until it gets a little bit more defined in the upcoming months, especially post Phantom Nightmare, I don't want to speculate too much. So, with that out of the way, let's just jump straight into the deck profile. Now, kicking off the monster lineup, we're of course going to be playing 3 Elemental Hero Stratos. Playing 3 is not the be-all, end-all in this deck. You can definitely work around with the ratios. Me, personally, I prefer playing 2, but I think for now I'm just going to stick with 3. Then, you're going to be playing 2 Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. I really like the grind game that double Shadow Mist offers you just because, let's face it, you're not always going to be able to finish off your opponent in one turn. So as a result, sometimes you just need the backup to be able to get you to the resources that you need. Then you play the 1 Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier because it's good, and then you play the 1 Elemental Hero Neos because it gives you access to pretty much all your Flame Wingman fusion monsters that you play. So that's it for the Elemental Hero monsters. So now we can move on to the Vision Heroes. So you're playing 3 Vision Hero Faris, not much to say about that. If you open this plus any hero, it's literally full combo every time. Then you're going to be playing 2 Vision Hero Increase. You can play 1, you can play 2, you can play 3. Like I always say, it doesn't matter because you're going to brick on this card regardless of the numbers you play. So, it's honestly up to you. Personally, I like 1, especially with a card that we play later because you can put it back in the deck, but 2, perfectly fine for what you need it to do. Then we're going to be playing 2 Vision Hero Vyon. Now, this is something that I'm honestly considering bumping up to 3. And what I would do is probably take out a Stratos and put in the 3rd Vyon just because cards like Master Hero Darklaw are going to be a lot more impactful in the upcoming metagame, especially if Fire Kings continue to rise in popularity because, in case you didn't notice, that deck is a deck that revolves around the graveyard. So you want to have access to Dark Monsters a lot more often. And having triple Vyon just helps you, it eases you into being able to make Darklaw more consistently. But that's a later issue. For now, 2 is perfectly fine. And that's it for the Vision Heroes. Then we play Destiny Heroes. So you play the 2 Destiny Hero Malicious, the 1 Destiny Hero Denier, and the 1 Destiny Hero Plasma. I don't play Dark Angel. I'm not going to play Dark Angel. I think it's terrible right now, especially because of the fact that they limited Rivalry of the Warlords and Ghost Match. So the chances of that literally staying on the field are pretty slim. All you're doing is giving your opponent free fodder to use for their Link Summons, their, or their like Forbidden Droplets, things of that nature. It's not good. It's only going to work against bad players or bad decks, and you shouldn't be struggling against those types of things anyways. So, yeah, I really do not recommend playing Dark Angel, especially not in the main deck. If you want to side it because you're playing against something like Runic, for example, go for it. It'll probably auto-win you that matchup. But in so many cases, the card just doesn't do what you need it to do. It's easily removable. It pretty much has like no impact, like I said. You're just giving your opponent free fodder. So if you want to play it, go for it. Who am I to tell you no? But I would not recommend it. And then for the final monster, we play 1 Cross Keeper. I just like the versatility that this card offers you because it lets you play around cards like Droll and Lockbird. It's another draw 2, much like Liquid Soldier, but it stacks to the bottom of the deck. So if you end up drawing a brick, say, for example, your Miracle Fusions or like the Vision Hero Increases, you can just put those at the bottom of the deck and then get access to them later on in the turn. And yeah, it's just a really solid card that's also searchable off a Reinforcement of the army because it happens to be a warrior. And with that, that's the monster lineup. And now we can move on to the spell and trap portion of the deck. Now, when it comes to the spell and trap lineup, it's pretty straightforward just because we have to play so many cards in multiples. So as a result, we're going to be playing 3 Fusion Destinies. Gets you access to every single one of your Destiny Hero Fusion monsters. And with how impactful Darklaw is in this upcoming format, if Fire Kings becomes like the best deck or whatever, you still have that play, right? Where you can go activate Fusion Destiny, summon Destiny Hero Dangerous, by sending Shadow Mist and Malicious. You don't use the Shadow Mist effect, but you will be using Malicious to special summon a copy of itself, make Cross Crusader, bring back any Destiny Hero monster, doesn't matter. Tribute it for Liquid Soldier, normal the Liquid Soldier, bring back the Shadow Mist, add Mass Change, and boom, you have Insta Darklaw. But Destroyer, Phoenix Enforcer, Dystopia for Time, all really solid targets as well. Then we play 3 A Hero Lives. It's your best starter. And then something that not a lot of people are doing yet, but I think some are starting to catch on, is 3 Mass Change. As I stated earlier, Darklaw is a phenomenal card in this format as of right now just because it deals with so many graveyard reliant decks, with Fire King being the main one. And with Fire King being a structure deck, it's going to be probably the most popular one. And Darklaw just completely shuts that deck down because it has to go. It basically completely relies on the graveyard, right? And Darklaw just says no. But yeah, if like this card is going into a matchup where Darklaw isn't that great, obviously it's an easy side out, which is also an added bonus, but just having that complete auto win button against graveyard rely decks is really solid. And that's for the 3 ofs. For the 2 ofs, you play 2 polymerizations. I still really like double polymerization just because it allows you to be a lot more flexible with your Wonder Driver. Like, you can save it for your next turn. You don't have to brute force it every single time. And yeah, it just gives you a lot of flexible plays that you wouldn't have otherwise. Then you have play two triple tactics talent. I don't know if the format's going to be very hand trap heavy, but honestly, it's perfectly fine, especially if you're going second and trying to break boards, because you can take opponent's monsters, you can make sure that your opponent doesn't have like a Nibiru when you're going for game, you know, just things of that nature, so it's a really solid card. Then we're also playing 2 Forbidden Droplets. In addition to the talents, this is also going to be one of your main cards that you use to break boards, and it's also just like another really solid way to help you get cards in the graveyard, because let's face it, sometimes you are going to break on hands with like Malicious and Shadow Mist. So if you're able to Forbidden Droplet those cards away, you get the bonus of getting those cards in the grave and getting their effects, and you get to negate monsters. So just a really good card in this type of deck. Then for the 1-ofs, you play the 1 Reinforcement of the Army, the 1 Foolish Burial, and the 1 Miracle Fusion. Not much to say about that, pretty straightforward, and that's it for the spell lineup. And then we just play a couple traps, being the 2 Infinite Impermanence. This is the only hand trap you'll probably ever see me play, just because it doesn't lose the talents. You can use it during your turn and your opponent's turn. It's just, you can set it. But yeah, so 2 Imperms, and then 1 Favorite Contact. So with that, that's the spell and trap lineup, and now we can move on to the extra deck. Now when it comes to the extra deck, it's going to be pretty straightforward like most other hero players, but you do have a couple of flex spots that you can work with if you really want to try some other cards out. But the first one, we're going to be playing the 1 number 41 Baguska, the Terribly Tired Tapir. This is for when you get hit by cards like Droll Lockbread or Dimension Shifter. You just make this and pray your opponent can't finish you off on your next turn. But that's it for the Exceed monsters. Then we just play the Hero Links, being 1 Infernal Devicer to help you search out Neos more frequently, the 1 Wonder Driver to help you set all your fusion spells, and the 2 extra hero Cross Crusaders. I still don't think you should be playing Dread Decimator. This deck does so much damage on its own that you don't need the Dread Decimator in most situations. Like, it's very, very rare that you actually go into it, but if you want to play it, you can. Who am I to stop you, you know? Then that's it for the links. For the fusions, I guess we'll just start with the only 2 Master Heroes we play, being 2 Masked Hero Darklaw. What can I say? This card just auto wins so many matchups. It's oppressive for a reason. It's literally a Rise Heart before a Rise Heart, and the card's just good. We don't play any other Master Heroes though. Just, I don't think they're very good, except for Master Hero Blast. But Master Hero Blast would pretty much only help you out, I guess. It's mainly for like back row heavy decks, and the back row decks that are around would be Rescue Ace and Labyrinth. But all their cards are like super chainable, and they can just get around that card very easily, so I don't know if I'd really recommend it, but you can also try that one out if you're just interested in it. And then I go really heavy into the Destiny Hero fusions, so I play the 1 Destiny Hero Dangerous, so you can go for the Darklaw combo, 1 Destiny Hero Dystopia for when you're going to time, because even though this deck shouldn't, for some reason, so many decks just go to time, and I guess this deck is included in that, even though it really shouldn't, because it's an OTK deck and it should be able to finish off your opponent fairly quickly, but you never know when the situation might arise, so you just play the 1 Dystopia in case. And then for the final one, you play the 1 Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, which, you know, it's broken. Then for the Elemental Hero fusions, you play 1 Elemental Hero Flame Wingman Infernal Rage. It gets you your favorite contact. It summons cards like Sunrise out of the extra deck if you fuse with Elemental Hero Neos. Card is just really good. And then speaking of Sunrise, you play the 1 Sunrise to get your Miracle fusions. For the 1 Omni Hero, I play Elemental Hero Escuridao. I still think it's the best one just because, like I said, you sometimes do get locked into Fusion Destiny, and cards like Absolute Zero, while they are good, they're just not really that impactful anymore because boards are so resilient. Having a free board wipe just doesn't really matter, especially when you already have cards like Shining Neos Wingman, Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, and, you know, things in the like to get rid of those cards. So I'd rather just have this for those plays where you're forced to Fusion Destiny early and you're locked into darks. Then for the next one, we're playing the 1 Wake Up Your Elemental Hero and the 1 Elemental Hero Shining Neos Wingman. And with that, that's the hero deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya!